also, if you're gonna grow, this is where you're gonna get the most water at the end of the day when it rains, because it's all coming down into that little valley. The only problem is if you have something that can't take too much water, something you're growing, some kind of crop or fruit, well, it might mess that up. But out here, I doubt it. It doesn't rain enough. Thank you to everyone for visiting my channel, Philippines Dream or Reality. But it does rain, don't get me wrong. Unlike Houston that rains every few days, you get used to it. You think you have a whole bunch of days without rain, but it's constantly raining over there. I'm gonna have to get a mount for my for the outside of my vehicle, and in the future what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get another camera. Might be a GoPro or something again, or DJI, and put them suctions that go on the bottom. It's a suction mount, but it's made like, I see a lot of people that race cars and, you know, extreme sports, they put them on the outside and they won't fall off the vehicle with the high wind. And I can take side views while I'm filming forward. I could film to the side and it'll be like in a super high resolution to where I could actually zoom in when I'm cutting the video, and y'all could see the mountains and the big hills on the side that you cannot see when I'm traveling, because I have the camera facing forward. So like that I can mount some side facing cameras. I'm probably gonna do that once I get my van in the future. And if I see the van being so far off, I might just do it on this little plankton vehicle. What the speed limit is here, but I know it goes at a certain point, it goes up to 80, and I'm doing around 77 right now, following all the vehicles. I'm crunched up in the middle, so I'm just staying with traffic. But if I'm not sure and I'm traveling alone, I'll be going right around 70, because the limit is constantly 70 here, without the exceptions of when it goes up to 75 or 80. And you'll be traveling 70 here. You don't want to go slower if it's a single lane like this, because you have people behind you. Otherwise, you know, let them, you know, move over just a tiny bit and they'll know to go past you. At 23% on the battery. High resolution, I think, is 10K Ultra or something like that, maybe higher, I forgot. I know right now I'm on 1080p, and then I could go up another level or two. On my GoPro, I only have the GoPro 10, but I noticed that you can put a full battery in there, and as soon as you turn on the camera and it's on that real high resolution, the 10K or whatever that is, that the battery shows at, I think, like 80% already, just at the get-go. That's kind of weird. And then if you change it back to the 1080 or 720, the battery is at 100% pretty much. I hope it didn't rain out here, because when I tried to go feed the dogs, I could get stuck in the mud. Last thing I want. Today's not the feeding day. I came early, but if it's too wet, I'll go back to town and then come back tomorrow or Sunday. So guys, for you that like traveling around and moving, and you know that if you carry food on the go, it'll spoil if you don't have a fridge. So if you're carrying anything that's cooked already and it's pretty much open, and it's if it's a cold day and you don't mind wearing a jacket and lend some of that cold into your vehicle, your food is gonna last longer. But I'm talking about like just a couple of days longer if it's real cold. If it's a hot day during the summer and you're in your vehicle and you don't have a fridge, all you run is the AC in the vehicle, then your food's gonna spoil pretty quick. You're gonna have to eat it, and if you have a lot, it's gonna be a waste of money. So I found an alternative to carrying the cans that you have to use a can opener with. For instance, if you get tuna fish in a can, well, that tuna will last you for ever, it seems, as long as you don't open it. Once you open it, you have to drain the water or the oil, Excuse me. You have to drain the water or the oil once you open it. And then after that, you have to mix it with either mustard, mayonnaise, celery, you know, whatever it is that you like. And then you have to eat it. You can't save some for later if you're traveling in your vehicle and you don't have a fridge. And it's gonna go bad. Now, if you have AC in your car, yeah, you can save it for the duration of the trip if you're gonna travel a couple of hours or a few hours, and then eat it once you get to the destination. But I found some pouches at the store, and I believe, you seen that guy flashing? He's saying there's a trooper up ahead. That's a warning sign to drivers going that way where he came from. So if you're on the road, at least in Texas, I know for a fact, and you're traveling and oncoming traffic starts flashing the lights, some of them won't do it and others just don't know what it means. Oh, so it's not a trooper. In this case, it's an ambulance. But you see, the flashing of the lights is to let you know that's some kind of authority figure when it comes to traffic, or even though the ambulance is not a traffic officer, they are trying to help somebody or take somebody to the hospital. Most likely that was taking somebody from the country into the city, maybe age, a heart attack, or something happened to them. But for those of you that don't know, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, like right now, we're on the highway, and then you see oncoming vehicle again, and they flash the brights at you off and on, or the lights off and on, that means be careful. Most of the time it's because there's a cop up ahead doing the radar on speed limit. Drain quick. I'm actually using an Enduro battery, which is the ones that last longer. And I told you a little while ago I was at, I think at some point I said 28 or 33%, then went down to like 23. Now I'm at 15% life left. So only 15% of the battery life is left. I have two other batteries with me. One is fully charged, which is the original regular battery, and then I have the other Enduro charging. So I'm gonna see if maybe next week I could book sort of a reservation for Franklin Mountains and take my backpack, take some water with me, maybe some pouches of tuna and some bread, and then hike it up there. Take me a jacket also in case it gets cold. Hike it up there and film for you guys. So I'll be up on top of I don't think the very top of the mountain, but who knows, maybe. It's not going to be a very high mountain, the one I'm going to be hiking up to, but it's still high enough. So we're going to be going by a little town that's called Cornudas. I might not be able to show it to you. If I cannot pull over, see if the camera picks it up without dismounting. And they actually have an old saloon here that some years back they used to have open, and I think, if I heard correctly, there used to be some reenactments or something of the Old West. But now that small part, which is a restaurant, and then it has the saloon and a few hotels, the original owner's grandson that took over, he sold it, and somebody else took over, and they're actually working on it, the restaurant part at least, and it should be open. So hopefully this owner will have some decent prices on what he sells, like that he gets a lot of people that are traveling coming in, and his business will bloom. There's the police, I think. Some lights flashing. Yes sir, trooper. See, that's the one I'm thinking about. That we're getting that flashing from the oncoming traffic driver to let us know there's a trooper waiting there to catch you. So if you're not from the US and you're visiting, or you're from another state and you're not aware of this, just be careful when you're traveling. If you're going past that limit, slow down when you see somebody flashing the lights. So I don't know if you can see it because the camera might not show it, but to the left there's a green building coming up, and it's not right at the side, it's like further in. That's the actual saloon. Let me see, not that billboard, there's a green billboard first. But I'm gonna see if I can pull over and show y'all. I'm not sure if I can, but right here to the left, maybe you don't see it, that's the old saloon. I'll take some pictures some other time. Would be good if they fixed it back up and they put some tame horses and some cattle out there, and they'll let you ride the horses. Then right here coming up to the left, that's the restaurant, is part of that also. Here's the restaurant in red, and then over here in green with a red roof is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hotels with a covered parking. 6 hotel rooms with covered parking. What a waste of something good to not renovate it and keep it going for the people and for your pocketbook. If you have good prices out here in the middle of nowhere, you'll make some money. You don't need to make a lot. Rent a room out here in the middle of nowhere for 20 bucks a night. That's good. Now if you start adding all the bells and whistles to a room, well, you know, I still wouldn't raise it much. In my opinion, top that I would do would be like 40. If they were my rooms to rent, 40. So you'll have the saloon making money. You'll have the hotel making money, and you'll have the store. And by the way, the store is actually a restaurant also. So it's a store and a restaurant. You can make good money out here. And then if you live out here and not in the city, you really don't have any expenses, especially if you run the business off of solar. If you don't have a water well, that would be the only expense, and you're not too far from where you could get water. Once you have a business, you could get a tanker truck, the ones that carry water or oil. Have y'all seen? Well, they have some specialized in water, or specifically for water, and they could bring you, I mean, they could bring you water. Fill up, you're good. Over to the right, when we get to one of the main roads, there's also what used to be a hotel and a store. And I was told by somebody I know that the son of the original owner, which were not the grandparents in this case, but the parents, took over the property, and that he was going to renovate it and reopen. And this one also has rooms, maybe about the same amount, like 6. No covered parking, but you know, they might be a little bigger, I'm not sure. And then the store, but I seen some kind of changes, like they were about to paint the outside, but I haven't taken a look since. And we'll see right now, see what's going on. Share, like, comment, and hit the notification bell. Oh, and subscribe.